Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Downing, and today I just want to show off a small side project that I completed just this afternoon. What you're looking at here is what I think I'm going to call the PlayStation 2 Advance, very similar to the SNES 001 Advance, just as you guessed with the PlayStation 2. What you're looking at here is just pretty much a system that I was doing while I was waiting for parts for another project. And what's kind of cool about it is this was all done with parts I had just lying around in the house. Take you around the system a little bit. What we have here for a casing is a two back halves of an AG85, or two AG85 cases. Like I said, I just had them lying around, and I originally tried to make this using the AG85 as it was, but it was very thick. You know, the AG85 goes out quite a ways, and trying to get your fingers around it and so forth just really wasn't all that comfortable. So what I decided to do was, well, what if I could thin it down a little bit and just use two back halves and see if I can make that work. And not only could I make it work, it actually turned out quite well. As you can see, you got the back half with the R1, R2, L1, L2. The problem with using two back halves, though, is the screw posts. They were exactly the same, and therefore you couldn't actually just use the screws that came with it to hold the two halves together. So I just milled it out a little bit and put in these acorn nuts, and that actually works pretty slick. But this whole front face is all CNC cut, and so that's why everything just kind of lines up the way it was supposed to, and all the parts on the inside are all circuit boards and things like that that I milled out on my own. On the top you got the on-off switch, the PlayStation controller cable, and then the actual USB for the audio, video, and power. Start button, select button, volume control, screen controls, analog control, dual analog sticks, and D-pad and regular buttons as well. And two really massive speakers, which came from an old PC, or their PC speakers, I should say. And a 4.3-inch screen. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to kind of take the next step and show you a little bit about the breakout box and explain how that works, because this is an integral part in getting the audio-video to the system. So I will be right back. Alright, so this is the breakout box that was originally developed for the original Crossplane. Not the one that everybody saw, but the original version that was a complete retro system, capable of playing pretty much any retro system that up to PlayStation 2 and Xbox. It was pretty basic how it worked, but essentially what we have here is the audio video input. This is all for, direct composite and, regular audio that you get right off of these RCA cables. So the idea was to be able to take whatever system you were playing, plug it into the input here, and then it outputs via these USB ports, and up to 4 players. Because not only that, there's a splitter built right in here, or an amplifier, so that you'll actually not lose any signal quality or anything of that nature because of it. But you could also output to a TV at the same time, so you could essentially have 5 mirrored versions of whatever it is you're playing coming out of this box. And the whole thing runs off of a 12-volt DC, and it was actually a pretty neat innovation when we got done with it. RDC was pretty much the brains behind all the circuitry and whatnot on the inside and designing the board, so I thank him very much for the help with that a while ago. But just kind of show you how this works. I got a PlayStation 2 set up right here, and this is the audio video for it. So you simply just plug that into this corresponding jacks, like so. And then we've got the 12-volt power supply, which plugs into the back, and that nice annoyingly bright LED shows up and lets you know that you actually have everything good to go from that standpoint. Okay. What we have here is an actual, it's kind of a custom-made USB, just because I didn't really adhere to the standards of USB and which one power and everything else go for, because it was just a new way of going from point A to point B. If I do it again, I'll kind of pay attention to USB standards, but I really didn't care. So all you have to do is plug this into any one of these 4 jacks, it doesn't matter. And then you take this other side, plug it into the top of the system. So then you're ready to go. So I'm going to pop a game in and kind of just show you some gameplay in action. Alright, because of the glare, I got to hold this at kind of an odd angle, but you'll get the general idea. We turn the system on, and we turn on the PlayStation. That's the analog light coming on, letting it know that the analog sticks are working. Skip past those. A bit. And we'll just do a little free flying just to kind of show you exactly how this all works. See, but alright. So get out of there, get out of that view, you just push the D-pad. Oh yes, and there is rumble. It's right in the center there. Yep. Fires off some missiles. Fires machine guns. Bring up your map. And this usually switches between targets, but we don't have any here. But all the buttons work. This switches between weapons. And then on the back you've got the accelerator. And then the brake. And then we'll stall out. and then if you push the R2 button, you drift to the right. Push the L2 button, you drift to the left. So all the buttons work. Yeah, and the L3 does, and that one doesn't do anything in this particular game, but you just want to check your 6 real quick. You just push down, and there it goes. That's pretty much it. These are screen controls, brightness, contrast, and this is left down, left right, and the other ones are obviously volume button. And you can do zoom mode and all that other good jazz, so it works. I'm happy about it, and I think it came out pretty nice for what it is. Oh yeah, and I had to mill this top piece too and make that entirely from scratch so the two halves could actually hold together. But so yeah, thanks for watching, and I've got a couple other projects in the works too, including a commission cross-plane that I'll be starting up a build log before too long, and yeah, just gonna go from there. Anyway, thanks again, and I will talk to you guys soon.